Ladies and gentlemen, this particular story, I'm telling you guys, might turn some of y'all stomachs. And I'm going to tell you this, before we even talk about this story, just because you might not have a lot of money does not mean that you have to live like a nasty, uncouth individual. Just because you don't have a lot of money don't mean you have to be nasty and filthy and disgusting, unkept and unclean. I hope I make myself very clear when I talk about this story, the same way that I've talked about a lot of stories that are similar to this one. Okay? Nashville, Tennessee is going to take the L for this story. How did y'all let this slide by? Whoever this woman's neighbors were, I don't know how they missed this, but yes, please get your poo emojis ready. If you're a channel member, you have a special poo emoji down there for everybody else. Just use the regular one. The individual that y'all see on my screen probably smells as bad as she looks. And I know some of y'all, that is not going to sit well with y'all sensibilities, but this is your disclaimer. I'm going to say some things that are not going to feel too good, but she deserves because she did something very, very bad to children. Y'all ready for this? I need to see the poo emojis. Let the poo flow in the chat. Let the poo flow. Let it smell bad in here for a moment, okay? Let's get the crap aroma going. Aroma. I said aroma. Aroma. Light it up in here. This individual that you see on my screen is 62 years old. This 62-year-old woman, 22. She's 22? Where? 22 where? I believe it if they say that nasty, filthy weave on her head was 22 years old. She can't be 22 years old. No freaking way. Look at that poo emoji. I bet this woman smell bad, man. A 22-year-old woman was arrested over the weekend when police found her children living in what they call deplorable conditions during a welfare check. So what does that mean? Somebody saw something, they smelled something, and said something. Thank God for them. Because when y'all hear about this, I hope y'all are not eating. I hope you don't have a drink in your hand, because it's going to probably make you sick to the stomach. According to the news, Nashville Metro Police Department officers went to an apartment. Wow. This makes it even worse. They went to an apartment on Glastonbury Road on Sunday for a welfare check. When they arrived, officers reportedly noted that there were feces smeared all over the walls. Where are the poo emojis? Guys, light it up. Don't be scared. Poo it up in the chat. Spam it if you have to. Let me take a step back and I'm going to read that again. They got a phone call that said that something smells wrong over here. They showed up, opened the door, and officers reportedly noted that there were feces smeared all over the walls. How, Sway? How? There were rotten chicken bones thrown across the floor. There was water clogging the sink and rotten chicken in the refrigerator. The clown that y'all see on my screen right there, this clown's name, 22-year-old Nautica Harris. And she was taken into custody and charged with 2 counts of child endangerment according to Davidson County Jail records. She has a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. A 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And please let me explain my stance in this story. You don't just wake up one day and decide to be this goddamn disgusting. That's not something you just wake up and do. This is not a bad day. This is not a bad couple of days. This is not a bad week. This is not a bad month. Probably not even a bad year. This individual, this is who she is, and probably been this way her entire life. Oh my God. I just thought about something. Almost just threw up in my mouth a little bit. Woo. How many of y'all think that this 22-year-old little girl learned to wash her ass properly? Oh. 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 Oh, that makes me sicky to the stomach, man. She probably don't bathe herself properly at all. Could y'all imagine? Y'all ever heard how people talk about teenagers' rooms smell bad because of their tennis shoes? Lord have mercy. Could y'all imagine what her mama, I'm sure she didn't have no daddy. Come on, y'all. Most of us were raised in the black community. Were raised in broken homes. That's a statistic. So I'm going to assume that she didn't have a daddy, a man in the household, probably just around her mama. Could you imagine? This girl probably didn't bathe properly. Could you imagine what her bedroom probably smelled like growing up? Probably smelled like a freaking pig farm. Y'all ever been to the pig farm? If you've never been there, there's a place called Guyman, Oklahoma. If you ever get a chance, take a trip to Guyman, Oklahoma. Step off the plane or drive there, whatever you need to do. And I want y'all to drive by that pig farm. You could smell it from about 10 miles away. Because I'm saying this because you have to remember, this is a developed habit over time. You don't just wake up and just be this filthy. You've been filthy like this your entire life. Your mom probably tried to give you a little bit of encouragement and tell you need to go in there and go wash your funky behind. She has no home training at all. Let me paint you guys a very disgusting picture. I'm going to paint you guys a very filthy, disgusting Picasso. Are y'all ready for this? She got 2 kids. Don't y'all think that she had some type of bodily odors? I bet her snatch probably smelled like dead raccoon mixed with garbage truck juice. Look, man, I know it's some desperate, disgusting men out there. I just want to know who the biological fathers are of these kids, because I'm going to assume that it couldn't have just been one guy. I'm assuming she probably got multiple baby daddies, because after they did it, they probably was like, I got to get the hell out of here. I need the biological fathers to please stand up. Please stand up. Where are the real biological fathers? Please stand up. Who would not only sleep with this woman, but who made kids with her? Yuck. Gross. What did that smell like? My God, how desperate can you be, man? Sheesh. Sometimes you could just do without sex sometimes. It don't. I know you might have some blue ball nights. We need to hashtag blue ball nights. You might have some blue ball nights, but sometimes it's just best to just ride it out, man. You got two options sitting right in front of you. Last time I checked, these work pretty good, unless you just ain't got no hands or you're missing fingers. It don't get that serious, and let alone that you procreated with her, unprotected. And we wonder why there's so many STDs that are running around rampant around our community. And people just keep spreading it and spreading it, spreading it and spreading it, spreading it and spreading it. Those are some nasty individuals. She has a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. The news reports the 2-year-old child was only wearing a shirt at the time police showed up. That sounds about right. Because if it's poo on the walls, then I'm sure they weren't using the bathroom. They were probably just, that's disgusting to even think about. The fact that they probably were just cleaning themselves and wipe with their hands and wiping it on the wall. I'm sure she didn't have no toilet paper, no wipes, no diapers. Where was the welfare check when she first had these kids? How about the first kid? They let her have a second kid, man. A neighbor reportedly gave a police officer a diaper for the child to wear. Like I said, didn't have no diapers. But you got all of this help out there just because you have kids. Section 8, food stamps, housing. You could go down there to the damn DHS and they'll give you some freaking free diapers and formula. Child support. The pandemic, these children were raised in the pandemic. What about the stimulus checks? What did you do with those? Probably to put that bundle of bullshit on the top of her head rather than buy her kids diapers. Lord have mercy. According to the news, the 2-year-old also had a rash on their chest. Both children were taken to Vanderbilt Children's Hospital for an examination. The kids are now in the custody of the Department of Children's Services, and according to jail records, the mother's bond is set at $30,000. I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think she got $3,000 to get out of jail. I don't even think it even freaking matters. But let me show you guys the one and only news video that was on this story. Let's get it.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Let me tell you guys a little secret about apartments. Y'all ready for this? Usually with apartments, if there is a strong emitting, I don't know what is the word? If there is a prevalent smell, let me not try to use my $5 words today. Let's take it down a notch. If there is a prevalent smell in one apartment, which is usually connected to multiple units, one of those other apartments is going to smell whatever it is that the smell is in there. Whether it be somebody who's cooking, whatever they're cooking, you're going to smell it. So if her house smelled this horrible that they could smell it when they walked up on the door, then that means whoever else was in those other attaching apartments smelled this and they just dealt with it. That is absolutely disgusting. Emanating? That was the word I was looking for. I can't pronounce it. Emitting? So hopefully y'all understand the word I was trying to use. Anyway, let's watch this news video.
be taken to the hospital after they were found living in, quote, deplorable conditions. Their mother, Nautica Harris, was taken into custody late last night and is now charged with child endangerment. An arrest report states there were flies all over the walls, decaying and rotten chicken bones scattered across the apartment, as well as foul water clogging the sink.
I missed this part. I forgot to tell y'all there were flies all over the walls. Sorry, I forgot to tell y'all that detail too. And I want y'all to also remember what comes with feces. Y'all know what else comes with feces? Maggots, bugs. Yep. They probably just missed that detail.
Endangerment. An arrest report states there were flies all over the walls. Arrest report states there were flies all over the walls.
Y'all hear that?
States there were flies all over the walls, decaying and rotten chicken bones scattered across the apartment, as well as foul water clogging the sink. The youngest child, who is just 2 years old, also had a rash all over his chest. 2 kids have been taken into custody, and hopefully they're going to get the life they deserve now.
Mm-hmm. They said they hope that they get the life that they deserve. These children are now in the system. We got to pray that the system is going to do right by these kids. That is so sad when we, as biological parents, biological mother, biological father, continue to keep failing these children. But I'm going to tell y'all something. This is a failure on the biological fathers. This is one of those hashtag TTO moments. Because this woman is not going to do life in prison for putting these children's lives in danger, because they could have died. They literally could have died. This should be attempted murder. A stronger charge, something that gets you maybe a bunch of years in prison, long enough that she shouldn't be able to procreate anymore by the time she gets out, which is hashtag TTO. What does she need ovaries for? I'm pretty sure that they should be rotten by this point. But she's probably not going to get enough jail time. She's probably going to be able to get out and just make some more kids. That's the part that sucks about the fact of her age and her gestation. She needs to be prevented from being around children. Matter of fact, while we talk about having licenses for children, this is clearly a great example for you should have a license to have children in your possession, regardless if you give birth to them. She should have had to pass a test, pass a background screening, somebody come check her house out before they say, yeah, you can take these kids home with you. They not only missed it for one kid, but they missed it with 2 of them. Where were the grandparents at? Didn't her family members, cousins, friends, did just nobody ever come by this apartment? Matter of fact, this is what makes it even worse. What about the maintenance men who are supposed to come by and check your apartment at least once a month? At least change your air filter, maybe do a little what do they call that? Damn, what is the word? Spraying for bugs. Don't they do that in all apartments at least once a month? Maybe once every 2 months? So this would also have to mean that they ignored this problem. They knew it was a problem. Bugs and flies and literal poo everywhere. It's also a failure on the apartment complex not to have recognized this or reported it. Absolutely ridiculous. This woman, I would say, if she's 22, put her in jail for 20 years for what she did. I'm sorry, why does she even need to be in our society at all if she's that damn stupid? But stupid is as stupid thugs, I guess. Hashtag TTO. I hope these kids are raised by some family out there that will be willing to take those kids and give them a proper chance. And I hope that they can grow up and become something great. But I don't know, man. This is probably one of the most disgusting stories I've heard in a while. But like I said, give her 20 years. That'll be justice. Thank you guys so much for listening to this story. We'll see you guys on the next story. All right. Peace.